So one of the things I found most fascinating about Dark Phoenix is at the core of it, it's really about female rage, right? Like it's female rage and the expression of female rage, and both of your characters express that in very different ways. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about expressing that and like what you tapped into to really portray that in this film.
Well, for me, we wanted, all of these fantastical things that are happening to Jean to be grounded in reality in a way. And so we studied schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder. And immediately just researching it, you can just kind of feel a person's frustration and anger that they can't control this thing within them. And so when they when Jean lets out this Phoenix Force, it manifests itself in very destructive ways. And a lot of that is because of the frustration of not being able to control this thing and not being allowed to express it as well, for fear that it might hurt someone. So that's where her rage kind of comes from.
What I also like about the film is it says that rage is okay.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women don't think it is, or, have been led to believe that they need to be quiet and polite and, just play by the rules. And I know my character comes in and is trying to manipulate Jean for her own advantage, but in doing so, she really empowers her and, lets her know that, stop following the rules of this man who's using your power for himself. It's time for you to make your own rules. And I think that's an important part of the female rage that you're bringing up.
Yeah, I also wanted to address the dynamic between these two characters because there really are two foundational female relationships in this movie. Mm-hmm. There's Jean and Mystique, and then there's Jean and this alien empress.
I like that, alien empress.
And I want you to talk a little bit about how you sort of established that dynamic for them.
It's interesting. People have asked us how we established the dynamic, but we didn't really.
No.
It's all kind of in the script.
Also, too, when you're working with someone who's like a great actor like Sophie is, they do a lot of their research at home. So, they do a lot of the work happens before you ever arrive. So then when you arrive on set and you're about to do your scene, there's so much already loaded in the performance, and that you can just really be present in the moment and react to each other. Because I've come with my history, my backstory, my preparation, and now she's come with hers.
Yeah. And it was so cool being in the first scene that I did with Jess and all of a sudden seeing this take that she had on the character, and I was mesmerized by it. And that's just reacting, but it was so perfect for, their relationship. I was just who are you?
Now, also on the subject of female rage, there's also this idea of female characters expressing flaws and how that can be perceived as bad and that ruins the character and it's et cetera, which is crazy. Yeah, which is ridiculous.
I've been talking about this for a long time, my whole career.
But what I loved about Dark Phoenix is that Jean especially was able to express these flaws and still be the heart and soul of the X-Men. So can you talk about not the likability of expressing these flaws, but how you're able to ground them in this character?
Oh gosh, I mean, it's, every person, every human, every woman has flaws. It's just natural, and so I just didn't even think of it when I read this script because it's normal. That's what a woman is. That's what being human is, and it was definitely refreshing because it's often it's kind of a needle in a haystack to find a script where a woman is written accurately, and so that's something that I just loved. But it's just accurate. It's the way humanity is.